The Fall of the House of Usher, Episode 8. I'm done. I reached the end. The story is closing. And this is the final thing we will see from Mike Flanagan on Netflix. Was it worth the wait? Let's talk about it. So the final hour and 15-minute episode of The Fall of the House of Usher. It's a little bit longer. Don't panic. It's not that long. He didn't make a mini movie. I guess he technically did an hour and 15 minutes feature length for, like, if you were a kid's movie. Nobody would even blink twice. I think that Winnie the Pooh movie from many years ago was less than that. So, maybe he did make a movie. I don't know. So, this is fine. But we have a problem. And I did put spoilers in the title. This film broke my cardinal rule that I've been saying all along. Once I was picking up what it was putting down. Now this film does explain it. There was a point in the episode where I immediately knew, fuck, I'm gonna hate this show. Fuck. And I've been trying to come to terms with it. It's been like a day, and not quite, but I did watch this really early yesterday, and I'm recording this really early the next day, so it's close to 24 hours of marinating on it, and I haven't moved past it, so this grade's not going to be super high. I appreciate what they attempted to do here. I appreciate what Flanagan was going for. I think there are more interesting ways to have done this. I know why he was going for it. I understand the emotional weight of doing so. But at the same time, really would have been nice if we had thrown a curveball, because I felt the dread. And I was like, please God, let her mom have cheated and let that not be the biological father. That would have been amazing. But they killed Lenore, and it pisses me off. I'm sorry. But she just... And luckily she didn't die in like a horrifying way. That was the best thing about it, was her death sequence was Carla just telling her how her short life on this earth affected positive change. How she was the best of the Ushers, which is what Roderick has said a couple times when referring to her character. But when she is confronted with the devil, I guess, devil or death. Are we going with devil or death up here for the representation? I can't fully tell. Could be either. So, when that scene happens and she's like, this is not the part that I enjoy, I'm like, God damn it, come on now. Everybody else had an opportunity, by the way. Like, there was everyone else. It felt like every other Usher could walk away from their death, but Lenore couldn't walk away from hers. You know, if you take the one that was about to walk into the building, and she's playing the security guard, and she's saying, do you really need to go inside? What if she had said no? You know what? No, you're right. No, I don't need to go inside. Thanks. And just left. You know? What? What happens? You know? I mean, a lot of the deaths, she actually warned them. The cat that he went to adopt, she said it wasn't available for adoption, and he just threw money at it, you know, like a rich person. What if he had been like, oh damn, not available to adopt? Shit, you know, it sucks. I just like walked away. Like, what does that look like? I know that Mike Flanagan just kind of dodged all of that, but it set up the series to make me believe that she gave each one of them an opportunity to dodge and to change and to not be an asshole. And like one final opportunity to not be an asshole and save themselves. But every single one of those people took the road that she wanted them to take. But then Lenore is not offered that option. she's not given a question. She's not given a, are you sure you want to do that? She's just suddenly bombarded in a bedroom by her. And because this bitch knows that Lenore would be like, nah, you're right. I don't need to do that. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. And she'd just like leave. Whatever chance, whatever thing you were trying to trap Lenore with, you wouldn't be able to trap her. Because she's the only good character in the entire series. So I really fucking hate the fact that she died. I wanted them to find another creative way. Because there are other ways of doing that. And it's a really creative way. She could have been the not really the child of Roderick. We could have found out at the last minute that there was this other child out there that we hadn't even met yet, that didn't even know he was a kid of Roderick Usher's. Just, I don't know. There's so many other things we could have had happen to prove the bloodline question and then let Lenore off the hook. But man, this is like a... See, the thing is that Flanagan comes from the horror movie world, and he knows that there are rules. There are rules in horror movies, and there are people who earn the opportunity to survive, and Lenore earned it. I mean, like, I understand the representation of killing her and why he went to do it, but doesn't necessarily make it right. Doesn't necessarily make the story... It's not based on a true story. She didn't need to die because this is where she dies in real life. They just kill her off anyway. Meaning that because Roderick didn't properly understand the word bloodline, that that's it, But what if he had sired somebody that he didn't know about, or their mom hadn't brought that kid to Roderick, and that kid was just like living somewhere, didn't even know he was part of the bloodline, didn't know he was Usher blood. I mean, there's so many more choices that could have been made here. Flanagan goes for the gut punch, and sometimes when you go for the gut punch, you're just gonna piss people off. And it's one of the reasons why, if you look at the edits that they had to make for Scream 4, when they killed Kirby, and fans who test screened, the film tested so poorly that they had to add a scene to bring Kirby back, because basically by the rules of Scream, she survived, and they killed her off anyway. In the original cut of the film, Kirby dies. In the later cut of the film, they're like, we found one. And it's, presumed to be Kirby. And then obviously later on in the sequel, Hayden Panettiere appears in the most recent Scream film. So, yeah, that was because when you write a character a certain way, you've written yourself into a corner, which is, do I piss the fans off and break the rules of horror films by taking the character that's done everything right that they need to do up until this point and still kill them off? Or do I go for the twist, the gut punch, the holy shit, they died anyway, And sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't, and here it doesn't pay off for me, because I watched my other recaps. I was leading all the way up, and I was like, I hope Lenore lives. She's the only one that deserves to. Meanwhile, her mom, who, like, her whole body was burned and just, she's the one that gets to carry on with the Lenore Foundation or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's that took up like the whole thing for me. Obviously I liked how the story finished. Roderick got to tell Dupin everything, and she stumbles out of the basement. She's missing her eyes, and there are these jewels. Obviously it's Roderick's way of saying, like, fuck you for trying to poison me earlier. But then they go out of the world together in the same sequence. There are some hints that Flanagan makes to like other arrangements that Carla Gugino's character has made, that are kind of suggestively hilarious if you want to read the way which I think Mike Flanagan wants you to read into them. But otherwise, I think that this whole thing was Lenore. It was funny because Mark Hamill's character is given an option. He's given because he's not an Usher, and she tells him, you can make this deal with me, or this is what your future will look like. And he just goes, you know what? No, I'm not going to make that deal. And he accepts his fate that she tells him will happen. And if anything, because he knows it's his fate, he gets the jump on the ball and probably will end up getting a better deal for it, because he doesn't wait necessarily to be arrested. He just goes ahead and tries to be a whistleblower and provides with as much evidence as humanly possible. So, there's a lot of things that happen in the finale, from building people into a wall. The cask of, I always thought it was Amontillado or whatever, but I can't even remember how they pronounced it correctly in the context of the series. But I was thinking about that. So many little Poe references, more ravens. Obviously, Roderick mentions the Nevermore. It's a nice tie-in. Obviously, Flanagan has drawn a lot from Poe for this, but it also really makes you realize that he's probably drawn a lot from Poe in his previous works too, and this is a love letter to, an author that set him up for where he, for the kinds of works that he does now. I think the series has some really solid performances. At the top of it, for me, though, is Mark Hamill. I didn't even realize it was Mark Hamill until I IMDb'd and was like, oh my God, is that Mark Hamill? I'm just blown away by Mark Hamill's performance. We do not give Mark Hamill enough actual performance / screen time anymore, and we should, because he was great as Pym. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm so deflated by the Lenore thing that I couldn't find the excitement necessarily to get up in this review, but I absolutely would not have killed off her character. I would have found another way around it. I think there are other ways of being interesting. The thing is that we're invested in her character, and like I said, we could have seen one more Usher kid that Roderick didn't know existed, who was presented the same choice if they wanted to kill off one more person to prove the bloodline thing. And then she could have offered Lenore, like she did everybody else, that sort of like, are you sure you want to do that? Question. And then Lenore's like, no, I actually don't. Thanks. And then she walks away. And then maybe she gets to live. She wasn't presented the same opportunity that the siblings were, and I just think that's a shame. It's cheating. It's the whole thing just left a really dull taste for me. I don't know why bother writing it in there for all of the other Ushers, but then Lenore is just like, "Fuck you, Lenore, you're dying." Just. Don't I get a question? No, because we know you would answer it in a positive way, and then we'd have to keep you alive. So, yeah, it's just, I guess, like, Lenore dies knowing that, like, her world, but still, damn, Like, I don't know, does that make it better? Like, think about right now, if somebody told you that your death was going to, like, impact the world in such a profound way, where millions would be helped by your death. You'd be like, but I have to die for that to happen. Like, it's such a weird conundrum. And Lenore wasn't even asked if she wanted that, like, if that is the path that she would want to take. it's just assumed that she's so giving of herself that she's like, yeah, let me die for millions. Let me just go out there in the world and just sure, I'll just die. It's the millions later will be helped by my charitable foundation in my name. Thanks. You know. I didn't really want to live to be an adult anyway. I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, sorry, I didn't like the ending to the series, and it's affecting my ability to grade it. Audio description, fantastic. Lots of gore in this show, so well done on the gore. I still think about the little boy that just like, I don't even know what to call that. Just fell apart. I don't even like what happened. I was just like, this is disgusting. I'm one of the more striking images that I'm glad I didn't see. I was like, as it was being described to me, it's just like it's stuck in my mind now. I'm like, what happened to him? His body parts, and then he, what? Like the audio description on that was so gnarly. I'm blown away. I'm floored. And to see it happen to like a little kid too is just like, I got nothing. Anyway, so that's it. Follow the House of Usher. I'm going to give the final episode, episode 8, the unpopular opinion grade. I'm going to give it a C+. That is how much I dislike the Little decision. I've given pretty much, I think every other episode this year has been ranked considerably higher than this. Except at the very beginning when I realized with the first death of Prospero that I did not know enough about Prospero to be even remotely interested in his death. Like, I felt like we needed another episode before we killed off any of the Usher kids. I needed an episode of just the Usher kids being alive. Like, another episode of them just doing their thing. What are their storylines? What are their purposes in life? I felt like I didn't get enough of that. And so when Prospero died, I was like, I don't even know who Prospero is to care. You know, later on, you see how big of a dick everybody is. And you see it, like, especially grow over the course of the episodes. So it becomes easier and easier to see these guys get killed off. But Prospero has such a brutal death for a character you barely know. I mean, was he kind of doing like a dick thing at the end by recording? Sure. But at the end of the day, I don't really know, you know, like what else does he do? So, yeah. Anyway, but this is my lowest grade for an episode. So C+. I'm going with C+. I would still recommend it because I think it's there are a lot of things that close out the series well. So I would still give it like a small thumbs up. We'll give it a child-sized thumbs up, and I would give it a fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but on the low end. So it's definitely the thing, the most, I think it's the most divisive thing probably Flanagan's ever done for me in a series of his. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and he's moving to Amazon. So the next time he does something, I will review it, whether it's a movie or a TV series. I'm a fan of Flanagan's. I love the fact that he actually has character development. So, and just shocking gore and jump scares, all mixed in. It's he knows how to manage all of it. So, anyway. Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe. I'm so close to my goal for the end of the year of breaking 200, getting over it. So basically my goal is 201 or higher, you know, because I want to be the other side of 200. It's just 5 people away. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the other side.